Saskatchewan has recorded its 14th COVID-19 related death. A person in their 70s in the far north passed away. 10 new cases are reported, 7 are in the far north, 2 in the north, and 1 in the Saskatoon region. 80 cases are considered active. To date, 701 people have recovered. And casinos in Saskatchewan will get to reopen next week. Our Connor Chan had the chance to find out what the new protocols will be in place once they reopen.
Zane Hansen, the president and CEO of SIGA Entertainment, joins me today. So Zane, first off, what was the process like with the Saskatchewan government to come to a date to allow all the casinos to reopen?
Yeah, definitely we had to work within the broader public health policy decisions, I would say. The phase openings in Saskatchewan, there's, I think, 5 altogether. So they were all, I think, put in place to keep the public as safe as possible, and then find a progressive way to get the economy to open up. So we're definitely relieved. It's close to 4 months by the time we get to July 9th that we'll be closed. So we're definitely excited and looking forward to getting things going again.
What are some of the safety measures now for guests when they come in and also for the staff that are working?
Yeah, we've done an extensive amount of new health and safety procedures and reconfiguring the gaming floor space to make sure there's safe physical distancing. So people can expect to have kind of a screening and a queuing lines coming into our property. There'll be, brief questionnaires. You've probably seen those at other businesses. We will require masks for employees and our customers on the gaming floor. There'll be a bit less available product on the floor. We're running 2-meter spacing between all slot machines, so you can't fit as many as you used to that way. There'll be no live table games, but we will have the electronic table gaming terminals going that play off of a live table, so they can be spaced out 2 meters as well. Our food and beverage offerings at the outset will be a deli grab-and-go type product, and we'll keep things as safe as possible there as well.
Are there going to be new business hours, and also is there going to be also a capacity limit that follows with that?
We're starting on the 9th, Thursday. We're going to start to open to the public at 6 p.m. And then we'll be running about a 16-hour day is what we're planning on going forward from there. So, and we'll gauge market demand and see if things open up a bit beyond that.
And just lastly, is there a backup plan in place from SIGA in case there is, by any chance, a second wave of COVID that hits the country?
It's we're going to have to face that like the rest of the economy and society will have to face it. We're making sure right now with our cleaning protocols and our distancing, and we'll be also monitoring occupancy levels in our facilities, and we will align those with the number of available gaming spaces. You'll see directional signage to guide you through the property. So we'll have to keep doing everything and being as safe as we can and do extensive cleaning. So, and hopefully we don't get to that stage. We'll see how we've done pretty good, I think, with this first hit. This one caught us, of course, all of us, caught us cold. And we had to respond and work our way through it. And hopefully we're better prepared going into a second round if it does come forward.
Is there anything else that you want to add on behalf of SIGA?
We're still going to have a fun, entertaining experience for our customers. Our service and our hospitality will be even more attentive. But number one for us, we want people to come and enjoy good entertainment, a gaming entertainment experience, but do so safely. The safety and cleanliness of our properties for our customers, for our employees, that's always been a high priority, and it is even more so now. So we're really looking forward to welcoming people back and having some fun in a good, safe way.
Tomorrow is the reopening date for a few movie theaters, including the one here in the border city and in Wainwright. We spoke with the Vice President of May Theaters on how they will be operating going forward. I'm joined here with Noel May, and he is the Vice President of May Theaters. Now, a few theaters are reopening tomorrow, and some have dates later to be announced. But what are some precautions the theaters will be taking as they reopen?
We're We're following step in step with the provincial guidelines, so that includes stuff like having hand sanitizer at the front entrance, marking distancing out for our lobby, so like groups can stand together, but then everyone else has to be 6 feet apart. Similar to what like Canadian Tire, Walmart's, every business is kind of doing, where they have a section marked off on the floor. Our staff will all be wearing masks. We're going to try and encourage people to pay with debit or credit, just to avoid handling cash. Our online system automatically spaces out. If there's a group of or a family of 4, then automatically the two seats next to them to the left and right will be blocked off, just to ensure that distancing in our theater. And yeah, that's pretty much it, along with just promoting the province's guidelines as far as making sure people maintain good hygiene. And then if you've been out of country or been in contact with anyone that might be suspected of COVID, just not to come to our location until that's taken care of.
You just mentioned that you want people to take a lot of precautions and make sure they know what they're doing kind of before they come in. So are those some of the biggest things you want customers to look out for before they come into the theater?
Yeah, well, the number one thing is just, if you're in doubt that you might have symptoms or you haven't been checked out or you've put yourself in a risk situation, we just ask that people that have put themselves in those situations stay home for the time being, just to try and minimize the spread, because that's the easiest way to do it, is by making sure those people are staying home until they are able to confirm that they don't have the virus or are able to spread the virus.
And you mentioned that if a family buys tickets, that's going to change the way that the seating is. So that means that with seating and ticket sales, they're changing a bit during the new reopening as well. Yeah,
correct. So if you buy a group of tickets with your friends, we're kind of considering the same verbiage that the province is using, where if you're in a cohort with a family, say there's a couple families that are close together and they've interacted together, then they're comfortable buying tickets together, then by all means they can book as a group. And then, each seat on either side of them will be social distance from other groups or other people in the theater.
And will the hours be changing at all at the theaters?
No. Other than, I think last summer we had 4 p.m. matinees for a few weeks in the summer, and we won't be doing those, but your typical 2 shows in the evening and 4 on the weekend, that'll stay the same.
And right now, there's not a lot of new movies coming out, obviously. So what type of movies are going to be played at this time?
We're looking to bring back a lot of classics, and we're taking suggestions on our Facebook page. So if someone wants to send us a message and there's some classic movie they really want to see, if it makes sense, we'll try and bring it in. And then also we have some features that didn't quite get their full run when we had to close in March, like I Still Believe, and we're bringing back Sonic, which was released in February, and we're just going to try and keep, a wide variety of classic product that we think people want to see until we get those big Hollywood tentpole features back in, which is hopefully in the early half of August.
And now you and the rest of the people at May Theaters must be pretty excited that you once again are able to reopen.
Yeah, definitely. We're excited to have people back. It's been a long road in these 4 months being closed, especially since we did a bunch of the renovations and upgrades to the theater there, specifically in Lloyd. So we're hopeful that people can get back and they can feel safe and comfortable coming back to the movies. And then, we just want to try and bring stuff that people want to see, and people can go out and have a good time with their family as we try and, get back to some sense of normalcy here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Now our Connor Chan will take a look at your weather.
All right, thanks very much, Jasmine. Take a look at some temperatures right now. 21 degrees right now for our daytime high right now, with some winds there coming in from the southeast areas, close to 30 kilometers an hour. Of course, we do have that mix of sun and cloud. That could be the trend for today, and then we could see a little bit clearer heading into the weekend here. So take a look at some other temperatures around the area. 22 degrees in Vermilion, 18 out in Vegreville, 18 also out in Edmonton, 20 degrees in Bonnyville and Lac La Biche, 22 for Cold Lake, 21 down in Provost right now, as well as 23 degrees in Macklin, 23 also out in North Battleford, 22 degrees for Maidstone, 24 for Meadow Lake and Green Lake, and 21 in St. Walburg. Here's a look at the satellite radar map. Lots of activity, of course, in that further Meadow Lake areas, as we do see that where it's pink, of course, over the last couple of hours there, as there could be some heavy rain happening in those areas. There's still a little bit of activity going on in that Maidstone, North Battleford area with that cloud coverage and possibly some showers to follow about. And here in the Alberta side there, most of that area activity is in the Edmonton, Vegreville, Bonnyville, St. Paul areas. You can kind of see over the next couple of hours, it'll kind of reach a little bit more northern, but nowhere near us here in Lloydminster. So here's a look at the temperatures currently for North Battleford. I did mention 23 degrees. Overnight, 11 degrees with some clear skies tomorrow. The daytime high of 26 degrees. Take a look at Cold Lake overnight at 10 degrees, with 24 degrees being the daytime high tomorrow, with mostly sun and a little bit of cloud coverage there. And for Lloydminster here, 9 degrees overnight with some clear skies kind of, and then 25 degrees tomorrow for our daytime high with mostly sun and a few clouds. So here's a look at the next 3 days. I did mention we will possibly see a nice clear weekend, so that could be the case starting there tomorrow, and then also on Saturday as well, with that daytime high of 23 degrees, and it'll get a low of 12 there. And we also have a chance of some showers though for Sunday, with that 55% chance there, with a daytime high of 21. We should have a fairly cloudy and mix of sun and cloud week ahead of us here, but we'll look at that in the next 7-day forecast. But we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll have more primetime local news after this.
Welcome back. Alberta producers are being encouraged to nominate farmers for the 2021 Environmental Stewardship Award. Eric Bay has more on how the award is promoting sustainability in agriculture.
Producers across Alberta are being encouraged to recognize their fellow farmers by nominating them for the 2021 Environmental Stewardship Award. The award recognizes those whose operations are creating a positive impact on the environment.
This long-running award recognizes cattle producers whose natural resource stewardship practices contribute to the environment and enhance productivity and profitability on their operations. Help us continue to celebrate Alberta producers who exhibit exemplary environmental stewardship by nominating someone you know who is a leader in Alberta's beef industry.
The award gives producers an opportunity to share best practices with other producers across the province, while also promoting sustainability in other farms as well.
We are asking producers to take this opportunity to share the outstanding management practices employed on their operations and to present the positive story about cattle production and the environment.
The competition is open to all cattle producers across the province, and nomination forms can be found online.
Nomination forms are available in the producer section of the Alberta Beef Producers website at www.albertabeef.org, from the Alberta Beef Producers office, or from your local delegate. A team of judges will review the nominations, and each applicant will be scored on predetermined criteria unique to the practices they implement on their business. A decision on touring nominated operations will be made at a later date. And again, the deadline for nominations is July 15th, 2020, and the winner will be announced in 2021.
The winner will receive a commemorative gate sign and a paid trip to the 2021 ABP Annual General Meeting in Red Deer. The winner will be announced in March of 2021. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
Now we'll take a look at your egg prices. The AJHL hosted their annual general meeting last Monday. On this week's Around the AJHL, Lloydminster Bobcats head coach and general manager Nigel Dubé breaks down the newest changes.
Joining me today for another edition of Around the AJHL is Lloydminster Bobcats head coach and general manager Nigel Dubé. Nigel, it's always a pleasure having you on.
Thanks for having me, Evan.
Now, Nigel, last Monday was the AJHL's annual general meeting where quite a lot got discussed, including having a 2020-2021 AJHL season. Now, looking at it from your perspective, was there any doubt in your mind that there was not going to be an AJHL season?
Well, I think it was pretty clear from the start when all this happened that we were going to have a season at some point, and not sure when that was going to be. And there was obviously, with everything going on in the world, it was a way to create probably the negative of it. So we've remained optimistic and positive towards it our whole time. So I think, the AGM showed that our league's poised to move forward with that season coming up.
Now, at the AGM, there were a number of different rules implemented, or rather announced that are going to be implemented this season, including hybrid icing, a request of side of ice for a face-off choice, that is on icing and on the power play. No more defensive line changes when a goalie freezes the puck, and diving is now a one-game suspension. Nigel, out of these different changes, which one do you think will affect the game the most in this upcoming season?
Well, I think the hybrid icing is going to take a little bit to adjust with officials too as well. But I coach down south with hybrid icing, and I think at the end of the day, what all those rules are doing is you're looking to increase the pace of play and make it a more of an offensive league. And that's what it is. Hybrid, you can outskate the defender and get down there first. We talked when we assigned a guy like Josh Pepler. That's exactly why we have him, and hunt pucks down. And then starting with the puck, especially when you're in the offensive zone, is a big part. So being able to, pick the centerman or the side that you want, again, is going to create more offense. And if you start with the puck, you have a higher percentage chance of scoring. So it's all about scoring goals and getting the game quicker. I think those are the biggest two that we're going to see play factor.
Now, are you worried at all that, from a defensive side, that you might not be able to get those line changes when a goalie covers the puck anymore?
No, I think, the biggest thing, and when we acquired Kobe and signing Axel, we knew that. We thought that was maybe an area that we were lacking in was the ability to play pucks. And, when you can get the goalies out there and stop the puck and be the guys that break out the puck and get it going back the other way, we can play that into factor. The Civic has some wild twists to it at times with pucks being dumped in. So, knowing that and whatnot, I think they are going to help us out. But like anything, it's going to take a few games for guys to adjust. But we're looking forward to it.
Now, Nigel, finally, 15 teams going into the league next year with the introduction of Blackfalds to the league. Is this something that you're excited for, and the schedule next season? Are you just excited for these two things in general?
Well, Blackfalds isn't going to come in for another year, so I think as far as that goes, it's just another team recruiting, which is going to get us back to 16 and balanced province, and I think the other thing is just excited to get back going. It's one of those where you watch video, and we were doing a lot of recruiting and still watching video, but now it's getting the preparation stages for next year and making sure we're getting things going. So more than anything, it seems like it's been 2 years already. So I think anytime we can get going and get into it, we're hopeful that all goes well here moving forward. And September's an exciting time for people to start watching some hockey.
Well, Nigel, it's always a pleasure having you on. Thank you for taking this time.
You bet. Thanks, Evan.
Now our Connor Chan will take a look at your weather.
All right, thanks very much, Jasmine. Take a look at temperatures right now. Still sitting at 21 degrees right now as we move out into the Alberta side and a little further out. 18 degrees in Edmonton, 21 in Red Deer right now, 19 degrees for Rocky Mountain House, 14 in Whitecourt and in Jasper, 13 degrees in Edson, and 16 degrees right now in Athabasca. Over in Saskatchewan, it's a little bit warmer with 22 degrees there in Saskatoon, 21 degrees for Melfort, 23 in North Battleford, 20 degrees out in Prince Albert, and 24 degrees out in Meadow Lake. Cold Lake also sitting pretty warm with a high of 22 degrees right now. Moving over to the far north areas there, La Loche and Buffalo Narrows both sitting at 24 degrees, 27 out in Flin Flon, fairly warm out there, 17 in La Roche, 19 degrees out in South End there, 16 degrees in Wollaston Lake, 18 in Stony Rapids, 21 degrees in Uranium City right now, 16 for Grand Prairie, 14 in Slave Lake, 26 degrees right now for Fort McMurray, Peace River sitting at 19 degrees, and 25 degrees up in High Level, and 20 degrees for Fort Chipeway. Out in the southern areas right now, 23 in Medicine Hat, 19 in Calgary, 17 degrees in Lethbridge, 21 for Coronation, and 14 degrees out in Banff right now. As we move over into the southern Saskatchewan areas, 21 in Swift Current, 26 in both Regina and in Estevan, 25 for Moose Jaw. Yorkton also sitting at 26 degrees, and Kindersley sitting at 20 degrees right now. So here is what the rest of the country looks like. I did mention 26 in Regina. They have some clouds, some sun, and a little bit of cloud coverage there. Clear skies in Winnipeg with a high of 31 degrees. 34 degrees out in Toronto, fairly warm out in Ontario there. 21 in Quebec City with some cloud coverage. Halifax and St. John's sitting at 24 in Halifax and 11 in St. John's with some showers currently happening right now. Out in Vancouver, 16 degrees with cloud coverage. Yellowknife also seeing 16 degrees with cloud coverage. Clear skies up in Whitehorse at 19 degrees with some clear skies. Edmonton, as I mentioned, sitting at 18 degrees. They have some cloud coverage happening as of right now. So here is a look at what we could see possibly tomorrow. 25 degrees for our daytime high on a nice Friday here. 25 also out in Wainwright. Vegreville and Vermilion sitting at 24 degrees, along with Marwayne, Bonnyville, Cold Lake. Black Labish and Edmonton sit at 23 degrees tomorrow, along with St. Paul there. 26 in North Battleford for tomorrow, as well as in Macklin, Meadow Lake, and Green Lake as well, and 24 degrees for St. Walburg tomorrow. So here's a look at the next 7 days, as we could possibly see some fairly nice temperatures across the board here. 23 on Saturday with mostly sun and a bit of cloud coverage there. Get to Sunday, we possibly could see some showers with that 55% chance of some showers there. 21 degrees the daytime high there. 22 on Monday with mostly sun and a bit of clouds there. We get more cloud coverage heading into Tuesday and Wednesday with highs of 23s on both days there. 22 degrees a daytime high for Thursday with a daytime low of 11 there. So we'll have a little bit more sun there for Thursday. We usually average around 22 degrees for our daytime high, and we usually average around 10 degrees for our daytime low. So we will have a nice weekend ahead of us. We could have some cloud coverage in the later parts of the week, but we'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Jacqueline Weed is joining me again from Big Brother Big Sisters of Lloydminster. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me today.
Thanks for inviting me.
So recently came out that Bowl for Kids this year is going to be changing for 2020. Can you just talk to me a little bit about what will be different this year?
Sure. So our event was actually supposed to take place on April 24th. And so as soon as all the restrictions were put in place in March, we had to postpone it. We didn't want to cancel it because it is a huge opportunity for our agency every year to raise money to support what we do. So we started right then thinking, what can we do, or waiting to see when we'd be able to hold the event. So we have taken it virtual this year. So what that means is we have a couple options for people to get involved, and we also kind of changed the way that we do the bowling. So instead of it being just on one night and in certain time slots, we've said that people can bowl between July 15th and July 22nd, so a Wednesday to a Wednesday, anytime during the day or night that works for them. Then the way that they bowl is different because they can either build their own bowling alley in their backyard or in their living room or whatever, with things that they have like empty water bottles and things like that at home, or use a Nintendo Wii if they still have one and have the bowling game. That qualifies as well. Or they can do it virtually with an app that we can provide them and do it on their phone or their tablet or their computer. The only restriction that we have is that we need them to then screenshot their score or send us a picture of what they're doing so that we know that they took part. Just like previous Bowl for Kids, we do ask that they register ahead of time so we know that they're taking part. And like I said, they send us their picture of their score or their bowling alley or whatever, and then they take part in the event. We will, once they register, give them pledge forms because it is a fundraiser, and they can contact us to get the pledges to us. The cool part is that just like in other years of Bowl for Kids, we're still going to have prizes for them. So we're going to have a challenge for costumes. So our theme is Fandemonium, so they can dress up as their favorite sports team. Send me pictures and we'll enter you in the prize for that. We're going to have a fundraising challenge. So the top male, top female, top team, top individual, just like in past years, will be eligible to win prizes as well. And then we're going to have the highest score challenge. So however they bowl, whoever has the highest score will be entered to win prizes as well. So it's just as much fun as past years. Just this year, because of social distancing and the restrictions on numbers, we had to go a different way. So this might provide some flexibility for people. They don't have to bowl as a group. They can bowl individually as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And how are people able to register?
They can check on our website, our Facebook page. They can message us or they can call the office, and we'll get in touch with them and get them the registration form and the pledge form that they would need.
And then all the money that is raised through this Bowl for Kids goes to the operation of Big Brother, Big Sisters.
Yeah, it goes to support our virtual mentoring programs that are going on right now. So supporting the matches that are already in place and creating new ones.
And the last time we spoke, we talked a little bit about the Great Canadian Giving Challenge, and I know that it's coming up and it's wrapping up near its end. And obviously, you're not going to know exactly how, if you guys ended up winning, but just how did it go for you guys?
Today is actually the last day, so they have until, I believe, midnight tonight to make a donation, and then they do the draw tomorrow. So we find out pretty quickly. It's nice that there's a quick turnaround time, and we've had great support from the community. We've had some donations, so fingers crossed that one of those donations was the ballot that wins us the $20,000.
Perfect. Well, thanks for taking some time to talk with me, and I wish you guys the best of luck with this virtual Bowl for Kids. And I know that this is a difficult time, but hopefully people can raise some money and also have some fun.
Great, thanks.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
We're joined today on Primetime Local News by Jesse Keith Whitley. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Nashville, is that where you are today?
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually about 20 miles north of Nashville in my hometown of Gallatin. Well, right on the edge of Hendersonville and Gallatin, but that's where I'm at right now.
Well, and tell me about the video that you've released, Jesse Keith. It's called Try to Change My Ways. Very interesting video, very interesting concept for a song as well. Tell me, well, I guess let's talk about the song first of all. And I understand it's a tribute to your dad, who is the late Keith Whitley.
Yes, ma'am. A good friend, two good friends of mine, Robert Kemp and Kirk Roth, wrote this song. And Kirk called me and he was like, "Man, I got a song you've got to hear." And I loved the song when I first heard it, but we didn't really set it as a tribute until after we kind of listened to the song and how it kind of all played out and how much it did pay tribute to my dad. So what better way to, when we release new music, let's hit them with something like that. And so we went in and cut the whole album and went back and revisited this song and decided that was going to be our single. So we went in and kind of made some adjustments to it, and here we are.
And now let's talk about the video. It looks like you guys just really went out for a day and had a lot of fun. Is that exactly what happened?
Yeah, well, it was a 2-day shoot. Actually, it was a 3-day shoot. The first one we shot outside, had some people over, went riding in the creek, had a little fire, drank some cold beers, and just played the song all day long. And then the following day we went and shot it with the band and did all that. And then we had to wait for like 2 or 3 days for it to rain to do the shot at my dad's gravesite. And finally it was raining, and we were like, all right, let's go get it. So last minute, we got the call, we went and shot it, and I think it turned out great. I really like the video. I'm happy with the product for sure.
How important was it for you to get that final shot in of your dad's grave into your video?
Oh, it was extremely important. Without that shot, we didn't have the video. So it was very important, and it was very important that it was raining when we got the shot as well.
So how have things been going for you during this pandemic? I know it's so different for musicians. Normally you guys can go out and tour, you can do some live venues, but you really are kind of limited in that now. So how have you been handling that?
Oh yeah, we're definitely limited. You know, especially here, you know, the city of Nashville's, they can't make up their mind what they want to do. And it's really putting a lot of, you know, my band members and a lot of my personal friends and, you know, in big time jeopardy over it because, you know, this is our livelihood. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to have a publishing deal through a publisher here in Nashville called Benny and the Big Guy. And the actual owner of this company happens to be my co-producer on this record as well. And so I've been pretty fortunate to be able to have that that publishing deal and keep us afloat. And you know, we've been doing some live shows here and there, but it's just not the same. You know, at first they were fun, and you know, you could really keep people entertained while they were doing nothing but sitting at their home, which is what we all had to do.
Right.
But the 12th of July, I go out for my first show this year, well, which would have been like my 40th show this year. But it's at the Holiday Inn in Panama City Beach, Florida. And then the 17th and 18th, we are playing 2 acoustic shows at my mom, Lori Morgan's restaurant in Panama City called Lori Morgan's Hot Chicken Coop.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be fun, but it's also going to be probably pretty different for you going out when you're used to doing, you know, bigger venues and even having more people, and everybody has to take so many precautions now. Does it mean that there's a lot more planning that goes into it?
You know, I think it's just more of being cautious when you're in certain places. You know, everything's acoustic right now. For me, at least, I know there's some bands out there doing some full band stuff, and I applaud them for that. If they can get back to work, more power to them. I mean, I understand, you know, some people don't feel the same way, but, you know, we've got to work just like everybody else. And this is what we have to do. And if people are going to support us in doing it, then we'll take the support. And if they want to get out and chance it, I mean, to be honest, we'll get out and chance it with them. I mean, we're not as close to them as they are each other. You know, we're a good 20 foot probably from everybody in the crowd, but you know, they're pretty close to each other. So, I mean, I understand the precautions have to be taken, but we are planning these shows in certain places that don't have a whole lot of restrictions because they have been following certain guidelines. And so, you know, but we all do it for the love of music. So, I mean, we've gotten we've gotten some pretty rough things before being out there on the road. So I think we'll all be okay. And just as long as everybody pays attention to what they're doing, I think we'll be okay.
Well, we want to thank you once again for taking the time to talk to us. And Jesse Keith, if anybody wants more information, if they can find tour dates or just want to watch the video or download the music, what's the best way to go about that?
We've got Instagram, which is Jesse Keith Whitley, and Facebook page, which is also Jesse Keith Whitley, and our website, www.jkw.com. If you want the video, you can go see the video on YouTube. We would love for people to go click and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. You'll get all the notifications of any dates that pop up, any new single releases, any new videos that we might throw out there here in the next few weeks. You never know. We might have something up our sleeve. So stay with us and follow us. We'd love to have you guys. And, you know, to the fans, thank you guys so much for sticking around for so many years. After I've been saying for so many years, we got new music coming soon, and you know, we've had some pretty loyal fans, and we truly appreciate it.
All right, well, thank you again for taking the time, and good luck with everything. I know it's a different world out there, but hopefully you guys make it through safely and get to have some fun again.
Yes, ma'am. And God bless. Thank you guys very much for taking time out of your day to talk with me.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, taking a look at your 7-day forecast one last time here. 25 degrees tomorrow, 23 on Saturday, 21 on Sunday with a chance of some showers there, 22 on Monday, be a little bit cloudier on Tuesday and Wednesday with a high of 23 degrees, and we'll finish off the 7 days with a high of 22.